Welcome to session. Today we discussed about the cost classification. Cost classification is the on the basis of time and elements. Classification on the basis of time. First one is historical cost. This is the ascertained after they are incurred, that is available only predetermined cost. Already it is the expenses are predetermined one. It cost is calculated before the on the basis of specification of all factors affecting cost. It is a historical cost is nothing but the predetermined cost. We know that what are all the cost is needed for the particular production, so definitely we are specified all the factors, and also it is the predetermined cost. In that we discussed about the estimated cost. Definitely the cost are estimated before goods are produced, because without a cost estimation we can't produce any goods and services. So before that goods produced, definitely we cost estimated is needed for. There are naturally less accurate than standards, because the standard cost is this is a particular concept and technique. So classification on the basis of time, it is a first one is historical cost, second one is predetermined cost. Historical cost, or it is ascertained they are incurred is called as historical cost. Predetermined cost are classified into one is estimated cost, another one is standard cost. Then next one is by nature of elements. Cost classification is the second one is nature of elements. There are three broad elements of cost. One is material. What is meant by material? Material is nothing but raw material. Material is classified into two. One is direct material, another one is indirect material. What is direct material? It is a major part of the finished product. It is easily traceable to the units. That is called as direct material. Indirect materials is used for purpose ancillary to production and which can be conveniently assigned to specific physical units is termed as indirect material. For example, we are producing the goods and services. We are using the oil, grease, consumable stores, printing, stationery materials, etc. So it is a material is classified into two. One is direct material, another one is indirect material. Direct material is major part of the finished goods. It shows that it is like called as direct material. Indirect material is called as example of oil, consumable stores, printing, stationery materials, all these things. Then second cost classification, labor. Same, it is classified into labor classified into two category. One is direct labor and indirect labor. It is a direct labor, wages paid to workers who are engaged in the production process. It is the time can be conveniently and economically traceable to units of the products. For example, wages paid to compositors, to printing workers in a foundry in cast iron works, etc. Okay, then next one is indirect labor. Indirect labor for the purpose of carrying task incident to goods and services provide as an indirect labor. It cannot be practically traced to specific units of outputs. Direct labor is the basically we can find the labor, but indirect labor it cannot be practically traced to specific units of the output. Example, wages of storekeeper, foreman, timekeepers, supervisors, inspector. They are not involved direct in the productions, but they are under the control of particular productions, because supervisors supervising all the goods and employees, so it is called as indirect labor. That is direct labor, they are directly involved in the productions. Indirect labor, they are not involved in directly, but they cannot be practically traced as called as indirect labor. Okay, then stores keeper, foreman, timekeeper, supervisor, inspector, etc. Then third method is expenses. Expenses may be direct or indirect. What is the direct expenses? These expenses are incurred in a specific cost unit and identifiable with the cost unit. For example, special layout, design, drawing, hiring of particular tool or equipment for a particular job. For example, fees paid to consultant in the connection with the job, etc. Upper direct expenses, it is a specific cost unit and identifiable with the cost unit is called as direct expenses. Indirect expenses, there are expenses which cannot be directly, conveniently and allocated to cost center or cost units. Example of rent, taxes, insurance, power, light, heating, depreciation, etc. These are all the points are involved in the expenses. So these are all the cost classifications. Thank you all.